then there's that line where she goes, whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I've heard that on so many like TikToks.
Yeah.
And then it's just followed by a fucking banger.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Welcome back to Reasonably Afraid, your mom's favorite horror movie podcast. Today, I have my co-host with me as always. We got Ray Reyes.
Yo.
We got Sean Dolan.
Hello.
And we got a very special guest with us today. It's our friend and comedian Amanda Fritz, everybody. Yay.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on.
Oh my God, thank you for having me.
A lot of cat noises happening over there.
I'm creating a thing.
Okay,
It's
all
a
right.
motif. It's called a brand, Zach.
Yeah, where's your drink and you don't have a Celsius with you?
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. I start spiraling instantly. I'm like, no.
Yeah, we're over here trying to get Fangoria's attention and you're like, Celsius.
Yeah, but throughout the whole episode, I'm just turning like the label out.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys, my favorite thing about this movie.
Every time the camera cuts back to you, it's a
Yeah.
different Celsius.
It's a different flavor. I'm just like sweating by the end of it, just shaking. What? Did you ask me something?
There's like hands piling up on you.
I'm just sweating.
So,
What are you talking about?
Today we're talking about the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
Super excited because it's Sean's first time. We always say this. It's
Yeah.
always his first time.
Really?
That's most of the time it is.
You're doing
Yeah.
a horror podcast, but you've never seen any of these horror movies?
Okay,
The only one he
yes.
saw was The
Yeah.
Conjuring.
That's fun.
The Conjuring.
And we're just now getting to it, and it's
Yeah.
going to be a
The
Patreon.
Conjuring.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the big angle, right? Is
Yeah.
we're explaining it to Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
We didn't talk at
now
all
you
before
do.
this. I just got here.
5 seconds ago, you were hating my gimmick.
Your gimmick is just not giving a shit about something.
What?
Yeah.
Are we recording? That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of The Conjuring, we're going to be doing that for our Patreon episode, and of course, at the beginning of every episode, we always shout out our top tier Patreon members. So thank you, Nicole and Kelly, for paying the bills. This is new. I like this. This is
You
good.
like that? Yeah.
That's what they do for poems. Did you know
Yeah.
that, Sean?
I feel like I would have theorized that.
New
Yeah.
podcast. We explain poetry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's why this movie was.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right.
I like that.
Go off.
I
All
think.
right, Maya Angelou, let's go. Pop the fuck off.
So Amanda, you picked this movie.
Yes.
So we were at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And I was like, please do the podcast. And you were like, absolutely, which is
Yes,
great.
yes.
Because sometimes we ask people and they look at me like
Why are
they're
you talking to
afraid.
me? Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Reasonably.
I didn't know
I'm
that was the
gonna
name of
fucking
it. You
kill
just
myself
texted me reasonably afraid.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, of what? And you were like, don't be cute with me. And then I was like, that's the name of it. You're like,
She laugh reacted it. That's what happened.
I did. Yeah.
She goes, what's the name? I said, Reasonably Afraid. And she laugh reacted, but that's
it.
the name.
That's it.
Okay, so
Sean wanted to call it bunch of whores.
Yeah.
Oh,
like horror. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Thanks.
He's like, it's the same podcast, but everyone's topless.
we would do great numbers. But
We would do
we would just have to be getting guests all the time. I don't think anyone wants to watch the three of us sit here. Surely, well, Sean, they do.
But like bikini tops.
Oh,
Like,
thanks.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, tasteful.
Yeah.
Sean got us a lot of followers actually, because the old setup was that couch over there.
Yeah.
Sean and Ray sit on it, and Sean wears some pretty short shorts, and his thighs.
Oh, then what are we doing
Um,
over here?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
with the table?
We really should go back
They
to
put
it.
me in a cage.
Yeah.
Well, because Sean eventually was falling asleep on the couch, so they were like, "All right, we
literally.
gotta keep him up."
Dude, he would literally start in the frame. He would start in the frame, and then one day he goes, "Watch this," and he put it on like time lapse to go through. He go, you could see
You just
Sean,
see
and
him
he's slowly.
Oh.
By the end, his
Slump it
face is
over.
like you can just see his
Oh,
hair.
God forbid I get comfortable. Oh my God.
You say make yourself at
Yeah.
home, but you don't mean it.
No, this home is strict.
We're reasonably afraid of comfort.
Yeah.
All right. So,
But I did pick this movie.
yes, you picked this movie. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, I did.
So you picked this movie. What's your relationship to this movie?
Oh, I love this movie. I had really frizzy hair growing up, like huge, like frizzy hair.
Yeah.
And I remember like being really self-conscious. And then my dad watched this movie with me and he was like, it's cool. Nancy has frizzy hair and she killed Freddy Krueger. I remember being in middle school and being like, hell yeah, I'm a final girl. And he's like, don't say that in class. This was one of the first horror movies that I've ever seen.
Oh, no shit. How old are you?
Wait, I was like middle school. So like 11, 12.
That's great. I was 7.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nice.
You win. Like,
Yeah.
no way.
I was
Okay.
27.
Yeah. I was today
Sean
years
watched it
old.
last night.
No,
Did you really?
Not this morning.
Did you like it? Did you like it?
Yeah,
Called
it was
out of
good.
work so he could do
Yeah.
the podcast.
That's so funny.
Nah,
'Cause
I had other errands to run.
Yeah.
Zach texted you last night, and he was like telling me, he's like, yeah, Sean's on mushrooms, headed home, and he said he's gonna watch the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're gonna watch Nightmare on Elm Street on mushrooms?
I was
That's
no,
the
I was
only way
having
to
to
watch it.
Right?
No, I did start. I got like 5 minutes in and I was like, okay, I will watch it tomorrow. It's just the vibes were great on my trip. And I was like, I don't know if I want scary guys coming in.
Yeah. That would fuck with you.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I can't fall asleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
horror dream sequences are probably what you
Yeah.
want in a mushroom trip.
Oh, yeah.
And it got
I kind of feel like I could do it though. I've watched horror movies on mushrooms.
I think if you've already seen it, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
Then you're like, let's rip her open. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like for a first time, like.
Yeah, and it started out pretty strong too. Like,
Yeah.
what was the opening? Didn't it start out pretty strong too? Someone died pretty quick. That one blonde girl, right?
Oh,
What
yeah,
minutes was
yeah,
that?
yeah.
In the beginning of the movie.
I mean, it took about 20 minutes.
Oh, was
I
it
think
20?
before she gets killed?
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched Midsummer on mushrooms.
Oh,
That's the worst. That's actually the worst.
Good.
Yeah, that was fun. But after a while, I couldn't pay attention.
Yeah.
Like I was
that
just like,
was that when me, you, Megan, and Ellis went to Cinespia?
Ooh.
no.
Or you watched it at home? Like
I
that?
watched it at home.
Okay.
Although
we were
Cinespia,
tripping balls, and then Megan was like, "Let's put on Midsummer," and I was like, "Oh God."
dude, Cinespia would be a
But
great
you-
place to do mushrooms and watch
Oh,
any movie.
yeah, right?
Outside.
Mhm.
But
You
that
know,
took me a
movie-
while to get like used
Yeah.
to doing mushrooms around people, but now I feel like I'm good.
Yeah, I can do mushrooms around people, but there has to be an outside element. Like I'm just like I can't be
Yeah,
contained.
I got to
you
know the fucking exits, dude.
Yeah.
You're like
Sitting
Sean
by
on
the
the
door.
couch. You know, you can't
Yeah.
be contained.
Yeah.
I-
You're just like a cat, just slowly
I
fall
am
down.
cat-like, honestly.
You're cat like.
Yeah, I think so.
Just sleeping
Wow.
in the
Beth?
sunbeam.
Yeah, yeah. I like.
I would say you're small Chihuahua type.
Yeah, you
That
and your
was
dog
raised
are
by
very-
cats.
That was raised by cats.
Yeah. Doesn't know he's a dog.
So before we jump into the movie, you said this was one of the first horror. Was this what was the first horror movie you remember seeing?
The first horror movie I remember
Yeah.
seeing, Psycho.
Oh, really?
That was the first one. My dad was
That's a
a
great start.
huge horror
Wow.
fan, and he
Oh.
wanted me to watch like all the classics. And
That's so cool.
I remember that being
That's
like
dope.
one of the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I think for that one I was really young. Like I was like 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was the first thing besides horror that like scared you?
Honestly, my dad. he loved to scare the shit out of us. We had
That
our
was my answer too, but for completely different reasons.
Yeah. Just like him existing like in the same room. You're No, we just trauma, just like a
Yeah.
total left turn.
Punches him in the face. Scared you.
We had we had like windows behind our couch. So like if you were watching TV, there was like windows behind you.
Mm.
And I would have like girlfriends over, be watching a movie. And that was the first thing that like genuinely made me like piss my pants. Was my dad was like, I'm gonna go to the garage and get a beer, puts a mask on, walks out behind the window, and it's just like,
Fucking awesome.
and it's just me and a bunch of girls just like, and we weren't even watching anything scary. I think we were watching the Lizzie McGuire movie.
That's so funny.
He's like, you're gonna die. I'm just kidding. It's me. It's like, we're like,
Oh, that's fucking
Yeah,
cool.
go back to your lizard McGee.
Lizard McGuire movie.
No. Let him sit in it.
No, that's just that. I'm role playing as her dad. Jesus.
Wait. Wait, but you didn't change your voice.
I don't need to. I'm not good at role playing. What do you?
It's like he's Dad. It's like he's here.
Hello?
Dad.
Why are you on the phone now?
She was first. I'm not gonna answer my daughter. What do you mean? She called me.
You're alive.
I'm at work. I'm gonna answer my daughter if she's calling. I don't care if it costs me the big promotion. I quit.
What a reveal, dude. What a
like
big board meeting.
Yeah. I like that you're just making an 80s movie happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was made in 1984, so.
Hey.
Yeah, look at you.
He's fitting the vibe.
Look at you knowing things.
Thanks.
He
I
did
wrote
ask you like a couple minutes before the podcast.
He's like, and by the way, what was that? Look at his palm. It's all written on there.
It
But
says
he remembered.
1984 right
Yeah.
here, and Amanda's dad right here. Amanda, what year was your dad born again?
1984.
Oh my god! Wait, wrong hand.
Bluetooth off, everything's good. I just thought about that.
Huh?
All the
What?
Bluetooth off, everything's
Yeah,
good.
I
Okay.
did that. That was the first thing I did.
Okay, cool.
I
cool.
also have it recording on the thing.
Okay, good. Just checking in about something that's
Okay.
Yeah.
Dad.
Well, now I'm gonna have to cut that. So
No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
ignore
You're
those men.
You know
They're-
you're not
They
going to
work
cut
at
that.
AT&T.
Yeah, yeah.
Cut them.
They're doing drugs till you come pick me up.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Don't drink the
Are you
Bluetooth.
guys still doing the dad daughter?
Yeah. Every time you guys have a sidebar, I call my dad.
Yeah. Oh my god, no Bluetooth. That's very addictive.
Yeah. Come pick me up.
Oh, don't swallow the 5G. 5 grams.
Everyone
man?
else was
That's
doing
crazy.
it.
that's great.
All right.
That's crazy.
All right. Let's jump into the movie.
Okay.
Okay. Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, 91 minutes long, rated R, directed by Wes Craven. We, of course, have talked about Wes Craven plenty on this podcast. Sean, what's
Yes.
your favorite Wes Craven movie that you've seen
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
besides Nightmare on Elm Street?
I don't remember. Right
Scream,
now.
Sean.
Scream.
Scream.
Oh, let him answer.
Wait, actually, no. Oh God, he's good then.
He's good.
Nah,
He's
it's
good.
tough.
Just got to freshen him up. That was episode 6.
I do really like
so-
Scream.
Yeah.
Scream
Oh,
is
that's
good,
a
yeah.
classic.
Would you pick Scream over Nightmare on Elm Street?
Ooh.
I might. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, here's the thing. Here's
That
the thing.
opening kill is so brutal.
You can't
Yeah.
have. You can't. Yeah. You can't have Scream without Nightmare on Elm Street.
This is
It's
true.
true. This is
Uh,
true.
That's true. Fine.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite because it made Scream happen.
Aw.
Fine. I don't like the other thing. I don't like as much.
Fine.
I don't want to like put a hole in the fucking the
Don't
whole
let him validate
timeline
your
and-
favorites.
Yeah, yeah. You pick your favorites.
Okay.
Don't let him bully you.
I'm just scared I'm gonna create like a fucking paradox or something.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. If I pick Scream, then it doesn't exist anymore or something.
It starts disappearing.
It's like the Back to the Future photo for you.
I like it. I like it.
Zach's shirt just starts
like
disintegrating.
fading away.
Oh my god! And then he's topless and people subscribe.
No, that's you.
Oh.
All right.
Dad?
Moving on.
Dad.
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to take Zach's shirt off, honey.
Wes Craven, director of Last House on the Left, notoriously difficult film to watch and get through. It's emotionally jarring.
Grow up. I'm just kidding.
But he followed that up with Hills Have Eyes. Sean.
That was
Also
crazy.
emotionally jarring.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's kind of a pattern in his early films of using rape scenes as horror.
Jeez.
Gee, I wonder why. It's almost like it's horrific.
That's true.
That is true.
As it turns out.
Yeah. Just listening to a bunch of guys talk about, I guess rape is pretty scary. I'm just like, glad you guys got here.
Dude, the documentary on
You guys is pretty fucked up. I'm all,
Yeah.
all right.
Dude, that was
give him
like,
a second.
that sucked.
Give him a second. Yeah, I don't like the way that feels.
Oh my god.
I feel like you could fake your way through even if you didn't understand it, right? Like it seems like
Yeah.
a given. It should
Yeah.
be a given. Anyway.
Just watching people experience like genuine compassion. Oh, I wouldn't like that.
I don't even think I have empathy, man. But what the hell is going on there?
Yeah. Dad, pick me up.
Are you guys feeling this?
Yeah.
There was a part. So
I don't like it.
there's a
Wait.
documentary. Go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say, wait, how am I feeling this if I'm not actually like
if
feeling
you're not
it?
that person.
Yeah.
Hey, are you
What's happening inside me?
Yeah.
There was a part.
I think
where,
I hate child labor too. We need to get those kids out of work.
Yeah.
Enjoy summer. Enjoy summer, man.
Dad, hang
I
on.
like to use that.
Dad, hang on.
Hey, I'm being serious, Amanda. Have a great summer. Hags, man.
Dad, hang
Being
on.
serious. All right. You
All right.
you have a great rest of your summer.
Jesus Christ. There was a part in the documentary Never Sleep Again, which is like it's about the entire franchise.
Really?
And I've seen it twice, and I watched it again last night while I was making puzzles. And
Oh my God.
A very normal thing to do.
Yeah.
Yes. And
It was the biggest autistic sentence I've heard all
Yeah.
week.
While I was watching a documentary again,
Again.
while I
Again.
was making
Yeah.
puzzles, putting them together, no,
No.
making my
And then I
own.
couldn't stop because every time I did, I had anxiety.
also, every time I make puzzles, I forget to put my mask on, and then my girlfriend's like, "You got to wear a mask so you don't die." And I go, "I don't need it." And then like 2 hours later, I'm like, "Oh, I feel so good."
Dude, what the hell?
Just like face
Yeah.
down on the table.
So
She's
I'm
all,
so I'm like passing out watching Freddy kill people while I'm like trying to.
Dude, stop doing that.
Why are you
I
make-
know.
why are
I'm-
you making puzzles?
I
Because
sell
he's
them.
autistic.
Okay, yeah. I moved past trains. I've gone straight to puzzles.
Yeah.
I sell them. You can buy them on our
I set you up for that.
on our yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you can
This has
buy
been
our
a big
puzzles.
merch, bitch.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
thing. The whole thing.
It just keeps cutting, and like all of our shirts keep changing to like the merch. We're all wearing it.
Oh man, how do I skip this segment, man? What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was a trap.
Commercial.
You
Yeah.
slid that in there.
So there was a part where Robert Englund is talking about where he's like, he's basically talking about being in the mind of Freddy,
Mm.
and he goes, "There's nothing more like invasive than like the part where he's like in the bed with the girl." He's like, I mean, being in someone's bed without them expecting it. He goes, it's almost like worse than rape. You're like, Robert Englund.
Robert, you're so close.
Maybe we should have cut this part out of the documentary. What the
He's,
fuck are you guys
like,
doing?
I was close. Oh, it's worse?
Yeah.
Was I right now?
It was close.
Like, Robert, we thought you were gonna do something there.
No,
and then you
no.
just totally.
Oh,
Oh, gross.
it is worse.
I think, but the worst is
Yeah.
the claw through the
To
bathtub.
the bathtub.
That
Oh,
is
yeah,
like
super invasive.
super. It's that like
Terrifying.
you're not safe
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like the cool thing about that, I know we usually, I feel like this we can just kind of when we bring stuff up, we don't need to go in order.
No,
like
let him finish.
You
You wrote it down.
with the actually I didn't write this down because I was like, I don't know if we'll even touch on it. Why
Oh.
wouldn't? Of course, we're going to touch on the hands.
Of course, it's the crazy. It's like
Yeah.
one of the posters.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, what the
ugh.
honest? What is Zach doing, man?
I know. I just saw it
I-
this morning for the first time.
But guess what? When that scene came on, I was like, I feel like I've seen this.
It is a
Yeah.
very famous
Yeah.
motif.
Have
Yeah.
people not
It
done that in
is.
multiple things now? I feel like they.
I think so.
I don't know.
It's a lot of centers of like art pieces,
Yeah.
like and stuff like
Mm.
that. So
Yeah.
a lot of people when they do like Nightmare on Elm Street art is usually that scene.
Yeah,
A good
that is
scene.
usually recreated
Mhm.
in some. Yeah.
Well, and then the silly version of it with Jack Frost. You ever seen Jack Frost?
Oh, is that why I
No.
was thinking of it? Yeah, you guys.
Probably,
That was on
yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah.
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 There's a scene where a snowman melts himself down in the water in the bathtub.
That's funny. And he
you know what? We
comes
never.
back.
Yeah, and then he comes back as a snowman, but then his
Mhm.
nose is missing, and then he fucks
I
her to death. Anyway,
love. Oh, this is the scary one. I don't know why I was thinking the one with like Martin Short.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the horror movie. I was
We-
thinking like Santa Claus, Jack Frost.
you should check out our episode on that because we talk about back when I was a kid and that came out. They were a year apart, and so they
Yeah.
were in the video store at the same time at one point, and people kept accidentally renting it and being like, "Jesus Christ!"
That's hilarious.
I
Oh,
like that
so
as
fun.
Zach was saying that he's like selling our podcast to our guests. Like he's just like, well, you should check out that episode.
Yeah, but
she's,
also-
she's on the podcast.
but like pointed
Yeah.
over there at the viewers.
I'm telling them.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
not
was
gonna-
telling her.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
check
that's
it
what
out.
I thought. Yeah, you
I'm
don't,
not
you
even
don't
gonna
have to
watch this
it.
one, and I'm on it. And I'm not resharing anything, so don't even tell
Sean doesn't either. It's okay.
Dad,
share the podcast.
please. These men are holding me hostage. Please accept the collab.
They're making me talk about The Conjuring 2, and I hate
Oh my
And
god.
just put on your lizard McGee.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Okay. Oh my God.
But it's a
All
very
right.
famous scene.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Okay.
So of course, if you're a horror fan, you should already be familiar with Wes Craven, but we do got to talk about the producer Robert Shea, because Robert Shea is a complete lunatic. Robert Shea is the guy who basically founded New Line by selling copies out of the trunk of his car.
Yeah.
wild.
And the way that him
Like
and
he
his
was fucking
wife,
too short.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what a way to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope ass.
This
thing to do,
record
dude.
studio was funded by drug money? Wait a minute. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Dude, DVDs out of the trunk of a car is insane.
That's dope.
Oh, well, this is the crazier part. This was in like the early 80s. So he's doing like very expensive like VHS tapes.
Yeah.
But the way that he was doing it was he later got into distribution with the explosion of home box office with all the like home video stores. But what he did was he found out the initial way, this is so fucking gangster. The initial way he was able to front the money for New Line was he just looked for copyrights that were expiring, and he saw that Reefer Madness was expiring.
Whoa.
And he bought the copyright for Reefer Madness.
Brilliant.
And then distributed it and like marketed it in a way to where it's like re-releasing it to a new generation of people.
I heard that this was the movie
Wild.
that saved New Line Cinema.
Yeah.
Because it was like going bankrupt or something. And this was such a fucking banger that it like saved it.
Yeah, they had only put out 4 features before Nightmare on Elm Street. They put out 4 features, and then the other game they were in was continuing to look for these copyrights. But of course, that stuff runs out eventually. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like now where there's like fucking 10 million movies on Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like back in the day, like
You had to
And-
create original content with like one copyright every few years.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So when they made this movie, I mean, they literally were like banking the entire company on. They were like selling off the rights to the movie before they'd even like made profit.
Whoa.
Like,
Wild.
because they were like, we got to keep this thing afloat.
This is such a
My
Hail
God.
Mary of a movie.
100%.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for people to like conceptualize just how indie this was, especially given the quality. Like, it's a really well made,
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
I guess Wes Craven's the guy to go to if you're going to do that.
Well, I
Also,
mean,
the concept was just like
yeah.
so out there.
Yeah.
For like a slasher.
In
Yeah.
your dreams.
Yeah.
Because we had the very tangible, like, Friday the 13th and Halloween and all
Yeah.
that. But to have
Mhm.
like this, and he keeps changing shape,
Mhm.
like the arms and like the worms and everything. Like, so to
Yeah.
have this like Morpheus being.
Yeah, and then he like picked up the phone at one point. It was like a fleshlight tongue or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, Dad, stop.
Oh my God.
And he was like, oh, Daddy, go on.
Mike, kiss me through the phone.
All right, I have two fun facts for that because there's so much about this movie.
About the phone?
It's two things.
Okay.
So the phone thing, first of all the effects guy and the props master were like, she kept trying to take it home. Like she wanted
Really?
What?
Really?
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Could you call me really quick?
And that noise they have him do, like, he had to ADR that, so they had to have Robert Englund in a booth going like,
That's so funny.
Can you do more for safety? All
Fun
right.
fact, I once had to go down on someone vocally in a graphic novel.
And you're just like, what?
Yeah, I
Really?
I did a
None of
graphic
those
novel
words
where
made
I
any
go
sense
down
to
on.
me.
I did a
He did.
audio
Oh,
book
an
for a
audio
graphic
graphic
novel where a
novel.
guy goes down on a girl and he gets eaten by a zombie while he's doing it.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
It was really weird.
Lots
And
of,
did you
lots
have
of
to do-
munching on that one, huh?
Yeah.
This one's wet, but this one's wet and crunchy.
and then they gave me $300 and never put it out.
It's the
So
most I've
Oh.
ever gotten paid
There
to
you go.
pretend to eat someone out.
They gave you $300 and
Damn.
never put out.
yeah,
I think you're a whore.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
welcome to comedy.
Yeah.
I don't think that was voice acting, dude.
Yeah. We just at somebody's house. Yeah, no, do do it like this.
Yeah, just do it like that.
Now, can I take some pictures of you while you do it? I guess.
It was so weird because it's me alone in a room with this microphone, and there's this glass, with like behind the recording booth, and there's just 7 dudes just staring at me, going, "Put a little more feeling into it." I'm like, dude, it was fucking.
They're like taking turns jerking off behind each other.
Well, I mean, I could see them, so that would be pretty awful.
Yeah. They do it anyway.
You're like, is this going to be on IMDb? They're like, yeah, fucking for sure.
Yeah.
Dude.
Is this a union? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep going.
Look at me when you do it. Okay.
Oh, shit.
We all take a sip.
I didn't. All right, should I?
Yeah, go ahead. Take a
Yeah.
sip. What are you not taking a sip?
I feel like I needed to just like calm me.
Oh, that helped.
I was just like, this is gonna
Hey, that
gonna go a
helped.
laughing fucking binge of it.
Oh man.
I do like that Sean brought up "Kiss Me Through the Phone."
Yeah.
I was like,
Song.
fucking. Is this how Soldier Boy came up with "Kiss Me Through the Phone"?
Big Wes
Oh my
Craven
God.
fan.
Yeah.
the whole time, yeah.
Soldier Boy, notoriously cool.
You start looking through all of his music, you're like, dude, what? I didn't realize this.
Oh man, there was another Bob Shea thing I was gonna say, because there was like 2 things. It was a phone. What was the thing before that?
Selling the DVDs out of the trunk of his car, getting that started.
The
Yeah,
lizards,
and then
or the snakes. I mean, the little wormy things, maybe.
Oh, in the trash bag.
oh,
That's
yeah, yeah.
fucking.
So
yeah, that was
so
just
remember
trippy.
remember how we were all like, oh yeah, like it's such an original concept, and that's what's so cool about it, right? And that's like why it's
Yeah.
successful and everything.
I don't
That's
ruin this.
that's why they weren't able to get the script picked up. He had written that script, the first version of it, he wrote in '81. He couldn't get anybody to pick it up.
Really?
That makes sense.
Yeah, like everybody was like, it won't be scary because they'll know it's a dream, so no one will buy into the concept that they should be afraid. Because they weren't-
As if no one has ever been afraid of their dreams.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I've never heard of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Just sound crazy.
I just imagine it's like Wes Craven. He's got long hair, and he's like, "Cause they're in your dreams, man." And they're like, "Get off the stuff, hippie."
You wouldn't get it.
Well, you know, it's a bunch of like coked up executives just like not in the 80s, just not getting the concept that you can die in the dream. So they're like, who's afraid of a dream? And they're like,
A bunch of like nerds trying to explain like
Yeah.
the story to them.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't get it, man. Like,
I haven't been asleep since 1973.
yeah. Dude, they did that like in the remake. They were taking like caffeine pills and they were
Oh,
like
yeah.
low key like tripping in
Yeah.
like the remake. And I was like, oh man.
dude, you know what?
Been
You
there.
keep bringing the transitions. Thank you. Here we go. Next fucking thing. That we are rolling today. This is great. Normally it's like the 2 of them, and I got to try and get the thing out, and they're like, we're not going to let you.
Yeah. I just
Which is
I
fun.
came prepared.
Hey guys, come
So-
on.
She was reading your notes while you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Truly, I have like I corrected your spelling on some of them. Apostrophe E. Okay.
You're like, what was the second thing?
Hey, how much longer after 1984 did the remake come out?
It was like what
2010.
2000? Oh, 2010.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
2010.
yeah.
So 26 years later. I guess I knew the original's release year.
26 years later. Huh?
That's quick math.
Yeah,
That was really quick
Yeah.
math.
Really
Like,
good.
I
Because
was
I'm
like,
still
how do you
doing
do
that
this, dude?
math.
I guess you guys aren't the only ones on it. But go ahead.
You derailed what he was going to say to do that.
It's like, I got to contribute.
Yeah. He's like, I've been crunching the numbers.
yeah.
He's on his calculator right now on his phone. So I guess that was
He's like, I
40.
can't.
26 years later.
I can't let Amanda show me up. I gotta say something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta say, you guys look pretty insignificant now.
Yeah. It's my daughter.
All right. So
Nah, come on. I love her, guys. That's my daughter.
So proud. The remake?
thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's not what we were talking about.
Yeah, it was. You
The
said she did
producer,
a good
Shay.
job.
Shaw? Shawshank.
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 No, Robert Shay.
Shaw?
Wait, is that how they came up with that movie?
So no, you can let it out.
Sorry.
It's good to have a live audience. Let it out. Let it out.
I don't know what to do. I want to leave.
She's holding her laugh behind you. Let it out. You got a great laugh. All right.
All right.
So there's a couple different inspirations for how Wes Craven came up with the script, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, and so that's why I want to get into it, where we talk about like the caffeine pills and stuff.
Ooh, like the lucid dreaming, like half and half stuff, like
Well-
half conscious, half sleep.
Well, just where he got the idea of like people being able to die in their sleep was kind of like this initial thing.
Ooh.
There was this thing happened in Southeast Asia where like people were dying in their sleep, and they were like telling people, they were like saying, I can't go back to sleep, I'm gonna die.
Oh.
And nobody believed them. And then one of the guys, he went to one of the guys, his dad was a doctor, and he went to his dad, and he's like, I can't sleep, I'm gonna die. And his dad's like, no, you gotta take these sleeping pills. And the guy wound up having this freak out and like screaming in the night, and then they sedated him, and then he did fall asleep, and then he did die
In his sleep?
in his sleep.
Yeah, because they sedated him. His poor freaking heart probably went out.
Well, I mean, I
But
think
still,
they
the
just
idea that he like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Well, so after he
Wild.
died, they're cleaning out his room, and they found all the sleeping pills. He'd been hiding them under his tongue and not taking them, stashing them because he refused to sleep.
Mm.
And then he had this is fucking crazy.
Poor guy.
He had a Mr. Coffee machine in his
just like
in his
Nancy
closet.
next to her bed.
Right,
Oh
right.
my God.
He had it in his closet where he had like rigged up an extension cord from another room so nobody would see it.
Baller.
Yeah.
When I lived in a studio apartment, I also had the coffee maker next to my bed. That was my kitchen.
Because that's where it goes. It's
Yeah.
over there. Yeah.
Honestly, that's such a good fucking idea. It's so hard for me to get out of bed.
Just like a little tiny, like the ones in the hotel.
Yeah.
Like a little tiny one.
Yeah. To where that's
I know this is supposed to
You
be
know.
sad, but like you're just giving us all great ideas.
we're like,
I
yeah,
have
we
the-
could all also not sleep.
Yeah,
This is
I
great.
have the Keurig in bed with me.
No, the problem is I just lay in bed. Like I'm
Yeah.
not sleeping. I'm just laying in bed.
I'm just
Yeah.
fully awake. but-
Scrolling on my phone.
Yeah. You sure about that? If I hear that one more time, I'm gonna fucking
Oh,
throw it.
yeah.
Whoa.
I have-
Hold on,
I-
look.
He's got
How
that.
did he die? How did he die?
Who?
In his sleep.
in his sleep.
In his sleep, dude.
Was it like how did he die?
By
He just-
sleeping.
Oh, why?
No, that's the thing. Like,
That's so why? That's so crazy. Well, that's like I don't know if you've ever heard that people will like take Ambien and then they'll force themselves to stay awake, and then they're like tripping because like their brain is like
Right.
partially asleep and partially awake, and it's like just do mushrooms, you freak.
Oh yeah.
Well,
but
that's the
also
other-
that I'm very
Yeah.
curious about how that would go.
Oh, I can't imagine.
well, that's the other
Thank
thing
you for
too
saying
about.
it. I honestly,
Like, I
kinda
was
wanna try it.
whoa.
Stay tuned. We all force ourselves awake.
Hour 27 of the podcast.
Yeah. Sounds like a nightmare. I love sleep.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's great. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so there was like these studies where if you don't sleep long enough, you start hallucinating because your brain will go into REM
Are you
sleep
talking about the
while
Russian
you're
sleep
conscious.
experiment?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
part of
you
it when they
got
forced them to
fired
stay
up.
awake, and they
Yeah.
were like
Oh,
micro
yeah.
napping,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they started like
involuntary.
tearing their flesh off
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, was it
And
in
then they
the
were like
way?
trying to stay awake at some point because like they started to go mad. What'd you say?
Was it in the way?
Yeah, it was in the way of them living.
yeah. This is a way of them staying away.
Yeah.
I got too many layers on, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyone else have?
Yeah, I can see you logicking your way out of skin.
No, trust me. This is good for us, for me, and you.
Everyone has it, but do we need it?
Yeah, let's find out. That was the Russian sleep experiment.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it was like involuntary micro naps.
Oh
Their
my
brain
God.
was just like like
Mhm.
trippy.
Oh, how long did they last?
It was like a week or two or something like that.
I'd kill myself.
They said
immediately.
after like 8 days, like that's when they started hallucinating, and then like by I want to say like day 10, like they
Yeah,
were like
removing.
they were
pieces
like
of
they were
themselves and
moving
stuff.
pieces
It's
of
fucking
themselves, and they
crazy.
were like trying to stay awake.
Yeah.
Like they were
Same.
like if we fall asleep, we'll
Yeah.
die, and they were like freaking out, but then they were also killing each other. So
Yeah,
Oh.
same. That'd be
Yeah.
me after 72 hours.
Yeah.
right.
I'd be like, no nap for mommy. We're all going down.
Everybody's gonna die.
Everyone's going down.
Everyone's just freaking out. This is a night shift now, baby.
So Robert Shea, Bob Shea, he went on to produce, the rest of this very long line of. I mean, it's hard to like impress upon people just how successful Nightmare on Elm Street was.
How many movies were there? This was a
Like-
huge,
Yeah.
cultural
Yeah.
phenomenon
Oh,
when
yeah.
this came out.
This is like the closest thing to like what Marvel
yeah.
became.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
like there wasn't anything bigger
You
at the
can-
Outside
time,
of
you
the
know?
overlap, I think it's 8.
Yeah, of just the
Like,
original.
of just the originals of just Freddy. It's 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you
Well,
have a couple.
Well, there's 8 sequels, 1 remake, 2 seasons of a TV show, which was on regular network television, which is insane.
Oh my God.
They accidentally aired it in the afternoon in the Midwest, and then some people freaked out, and then it wound up getting canceled because they were like, "You can't do all the things you're doing," and they were like,
Oh,
"Well,
it's the
there's
Dana
no more
Carvey
Freddy."
show all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
So and then
When was that? They had a whole show for this?
Oh, dude, yeah,
That's
this was.
crazy.
I believe it was after the 5th film. I think was when
Really?
they had their own TV show.
I remember like the origin story of Freddy Krueger. It was like his mom was like a nun that got like locked into a male prison or whatever. And then I was like, this is scary. And then they were like, and her name's Amanda. And I was like, no, no, it's personal. Wow. It was like the most like extravagant origin story. It was like a nun that was like assaulted by like 100 prisoners. And you're like, oh, that's why he's a pedophile now.
Oh yeah, well, Wes Craven didn't write it, but they definitely drew inspiration. They were like, "What if she got raped by 100 dudes?" And they were like, "Yeah, put that in there."
That's a good way to make a baby evil right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
Is it nature or nurture? Both. Like,
by 1,000 maniacs.
yeah. It's like, and that's why he diddled kids.
Wait.
Mommy killed him, honey.
Oh my God.
It's such an intense scene. I love that.
That's a wild. I gotta watch the rest of them.
Freddy Krueger?
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger.
I am gonna like binge marathon these after this,
Yeah,
just so
me
you
too.
know. Yeah.
Hell yeah, because I want to do. I want to have you back on later because I want us to do like
I'm
a
never
full
coming
series.
back.
Oh, okay.
I'm mad that I'm here now. No, I'm down. I'm so down.
wanna do
I'll
a
take
full-
over Nightmare.
Well, we want to do full series watches, and there's no way we can get him to do that.
Yes,
So
because
we're gonna
sometimes
bring
it
guests on
doesn't. It
for
gets
those.
really weird around like the third and fourth
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
To get him to watch one movie is so hard. I
Yeah.
can't even imagine being like, "Hey, Sean, you got to watch 8 films."
Can I be
Ugh.
honest with you? I don't think he actually watched it.
Just
between us.
Okay, you're disrespectful. Give me. How do I prove it?
Sean, tell her how you watched The Fly.
How'd you watch
That's the one. Okay, see, this is why I admitted it. That's the one movie I didn't watch.
I don't blame you.
Thanks.
And
I
tell her,
just watched it recently.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking great.
It's great.
But this movie, I can give you. I brought up the phone.
He did bring up. Yeah.
He did.
I
He did
brought
bring
up-
up the phone.
The soundtrack was kind of weird.
Yeah.
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 Can I say
I
that?
love
I'm
the
sorry,
soundtrack.
soundtrack guy.
Very synthy.
Yeah,
it's very
synthy.
yeah.
That's composer Charles Bernstein,
Mm.
and he his first
It was
movie.
the 80s.
Dude,
It was the 80s.
Wait,
it was
yeah,
the
it
80s.
was
I
It was
wrote
very
this.
synthy, very
Yeah.
echoey. It was all that boiler room.
I wrote this for you guys.
New
though.
Order was on. Okay, it was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
I wrote this for you guys because this is so important. His
Okay.
first film that he ever scored
Mhm.
was called Stony, and it was made in 1969.
Hey.
Wow.
Nice.
Crusty.
I brought this up yesterday while we were watching it. There's something about the way this movie just sound, not just like the soundtrack,
Yeah.
just the sound in
Scape.
general. Yeah, it's
The
so.
sound design.
Yeah.
It's like listening to like a record player like that, like the way the
Yeah.
noises hit. It's
Yeah.
just so aesthetically pleasing to listen to.
Especially the scene like when they're all camped out at the house and that
Mhm.
one guy's in the back, right? And they're like going out into the backyard, like the stinger,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
freaking, but it's also
Yeah.
so warm. Like
Yeah.
it is like
It's so.
You know what's
interesting.
really cool too is that the girl Heather, what's her name?
The blonde?
Langenkamp, Nancy.
Nancy, one of my
Yeah.
favorite final girls.
So her boyfriend was playing around on the piano one day doing the little because they had written that Wes Craven wrote that little jingle, the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, that whole thing. So he wrote that, but they hadn't really. It was just written down. There wasn't like
a
it's-
melody.
Yeah, it wasn't like it's this exact nursery rhyme type thing, right?
Oh.
So that guy just started doing it on the piano.
That'd be
just
so,
kinda
I would hate
fucking
to walk
around.
in and hear that. My boyfriend just being like, 1, 2. I'd be like, stop.
I guess I have a gift.
Yeah.
And then so he did that fucking around, and then somehow like because he was around the set, so he wound up doing it around like the producers and stuff, and then the composer took it and was like, I'm gonna work that into the score, and then he worked it in.
Wow.
So when you listen to it, he plays variations of it, but he plays the wrong note on purpose to make you uncomfortable.
Yes.
So when you're listening to like, and
there are a lot of like minor chords
Yeah.
and like down scales on
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
yeah, and it's all intentional to throw you off because like
Well, and you notice
know.
there's like that like high stinger. There's always
Yeah.
that like high synth that just sort of like hangs
Yeah.
over the scene.
like when Law and
Yeah.
Order's on. And
Yeah.
it's,
Dun dun.
but like when they do like that swelling music and it gets too loud because they didn't like mix the levels right.
Yeah.
It's like that, but on purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Aesthetically.
Then there's that line where she goes, whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I've heard that on so many like TikToks.
Yeah.
And then it's just followed by a fucking banger.
Oh.
I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Dude, actually, but that boyfriend pissed me off. Dude fell asleep twice, right?
Yeah, he was
like,
falling asleep
my
Yeah,
God.
he's the worst.
Yeah,
I
He's
get
the
it. I mean,
worst.
that probably would have been me, but it's like, dude, I just felt like I wanted him to like really apologize more about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
be a fucking good boyfriend, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, people get tired sometimes.
He was so he was so over Nancy's shit by
Yeah.
then. He was like, girl, I get it. I'm sorry your friend died. That's crazy.
but then he just gets sucked up into the bed. He's like, oh, fuck. You know,
Yeah, when he got like fully like ninja blendered or whatever, like we
Ninja
were just
blendered.
like, you deserve that a little bit. Like
Yeah.
the sympathy vote was kind of out on that
Yeah.
one.
the mom walked in and was like, what is going on, man? And she's like, but yeah, also explain it.
Yeah. Him, like the dripping from the ceiling was like gnarly when it
Yeah.
like shot him back out. And you're just
Yeah.
like, oh.
See, what's wild about that too is
Crop tops.
obviously
No,
He's wearing
the
no
crop
clothes in
top.
that
yeah,
scene.
Yeah.
Hoochie daddy shorts and a crop top.
and it's his first film. So his first time ever being on film and they're like, here you go.
Yeah.
Do
The order
this.
department was like, really quick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, take this. Okay.
So
He
what-
puts it on.
It's
He's like, you guys aren't going to touch me,
1984.
right?
Yeah, they're like cutting it off of him.
Wes Craven's daughter.
We're like, no, we don't do that in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Wes Craven's
You want to play a pirate? It's like, no. Leave me alone. Tim Burton's like, come here. Sit on my lap. Disgusting. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
So the
Don't
characters
do it again.
Yeah, Dad, I'm sorry.
Apologize to Mr. Burton.
I'm at the principal's office.
Wait.
No.
Yeah.
Mr. Burton does get an apology.
Oh my God. Oh, I mean,
I said
that,
that Tim Burton was racist, and then they were like, "We love Nightmare Before Christmas," and I was like, "We're doing Nightmare on Elm Street. Can you come pick me up?"
oh, Tim Burton, he's the racist one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I know his thing.
Every
Yeah,
director has something if you wait long enough.
Just wait.
He's so great. Start the timer.
I'm not sure where. I guess we should start with Johnny Depp. I feels like the right place to start because the fact that Johnny
Let's start
Depp,
there.
the fact that Johnny Depp did this is his first movie ever. Like,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
first
This was
scene on screen.
before
He never did TV.
21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
wait,
this was it.
he's in this movie?
Yeah, dude.
He was the boyfriend that got blendered. He was the one that wouldn't
That
wait.
was Johnny Depp.
That
Oh,
was
I didn't
Johnny
know
Depp.
that.
He looks so
I didn't even
young.
know.
He
I
looks
didn't
so
know that.
different.
Look at his
Yeah.
face.
I didn't notice him with all
Move
those
that mic. Look at his
accessories.
face.
Yeah.
Look at his face. Show him your Johnny Depp. Show him we
Yeah.
just found out Johnny Depp is in the movie face.
What?
Guys don't feather their hair anymore. Do you know what I mean? He's just so coiffed in
Does
that
anybody?
movie. Listen,
Okay.
Dad,
What a
Hey.
fun bit for this.
he's so
I'm not.
he's so young.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
it's
wild.
crazy.
You didn't
Yeah.
pick it. Did you at least like think
Just looking
he
at his
kinda-
abs the whole time.
Did you at least think he kind of looked like him or you just didn't?
Like in hindsight now? Or you mean what?
As
no,
you were
I have
watching
a
it.
passing thought and go, oh, looks like Johnny. No, I didn't know.
That's so
I was trying
funny.
to watch the movie.
Sorry, I was locked in.
It was long before he was trying to fight people on set.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I was locked into the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah, this was before 21 Jump Street. This
Yeah.
was before. This was his first
Yeah.
like on-screen appearance.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why when you're watching the credits, it says introducing Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And so he
Oh.
played in a band at the time and was like known in LA for like being in this band. And they played at the Viper Room and everything. And he's like a kid. He's like really young.
Yeah.
And he was one of the people that auditioned, but Wes Craven's daughter was like watching the tapes, and they had the script was originally written for like a jock kind of guy, and she was like, "No, this is all bad." That guy, And then Wes Craven's like, he looks pale and sickly. That's a direct quote.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
And
a
she goes-
whole generation of women's tastes were influenced forever.
Exactly.
I want the sickly one.
Oh my god, yeah, but that's
I
a
want the
thing
one
now.
that looks like a walking cigarette. Hand him over, I can fix him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Also,
was
he's
like,
too weak to get away.
Gotcha, bitch. Yeah.
Gotcha. Sit down, you iron deficient bitch.
But it is wild that you are an efficient bitch.
Got up too fast, didn't you?
It is wild to think though that like
Yeah,
this
don't
guy's
give him any
whole-
chips; he'll run away.
Truly.
This guy's whole career was built on this teenage girl. It's wild.
That's crazy. But that's kind of who the demographic. I mean,
Yeah.
horror films, it's usually like the teens and young adults that are like
Yeah.
chomping at the bit to get it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for
Which
her.
Siskel and Ebert had no problem saying this film deserves an NC-17 and it's like the worst. This is like, you know who this movie's trying to get in those theaters and like they're, you know, there's those dickheads have been
It's R,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they-
'cause
Yeah.
it's
they were like, you know, they were the people they shit on like almost every fucking horror movie that came out
Yeah.
because they're old dickheads.
Right now, the biggest demographic is young Latinos.
really
Yeah.
for horror.
Nice.
Yeah, anytime you go to like Halloween Horror Nights, just look around. There's
I just figured because we were in LA.
So
but
many.
go on.
Partly, yeah, partly.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah.
That's
But if they didn't like
true.
it, they wouldn't show up.
That's
you know?
true.
Mhm.
That's a commitment.
That's
the horror
why.
nights
That's why like Universal's doing like the Latin American monsters and stuff like that because they know.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say that's why the president's trying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get rid of
What are the
this.
Latin
Yeah.
American monsters? It's just
It's like La Llorona and yeah, a bunch of like old Latin American folklore and stuff like that.
oh my god. When
Cucuy.
I was when are
That's
we
what my
gonna
grandmother used to tell me.
when are we gonna get the Chupacabra movie?
I know.
When is that
But it better be in
happening?
Puerto Rico.
Well, they
'cause
do have
it,
one.
it pisses me off when they put
In-
Chupacabra in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Puerto Rico was the first
Yeah.
sighting.
So they
Are you
do have
listening?
one.
Mhm.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
They do have a Chupacabra movie, but it's not good, and it was made in like 2005 or
Mhm.
something by some.
That was a
indie
bad
thing.
time for movies.
Not a lot of great.
Yeah.
there a lot of horror came out. Not a lot of great horror. But
Oh,
Yeah.
like the Friday the 13th remake? Did you see that? When he like
The-
hangs the sleeping bag over the campfire and like burns her alive. I was getting a tattoo done. It was a Friday the 13th flash tattoo. And I looked
yeah.
over and I was like, can we change this? Like, I know we're in the middle of something, but can we?
Can you put on the original
Yeah.
UX?
I'd rather watch like, what is it? Jason Goes to Space or something. Like,
Yeah,
can
Jason
we-
X, yeah.
Yeah.
That one's fun. It's dumb as shit, but it's really
Yeah,
fun.
I was like, I don't need this Y2K bullshit. Can we-
Okay, so we should move on. The cinematographer has done fucking everything, and we don't need to.
Who did it? Who's the cinematographer? Who's the DP?
His name is Jok Heitken.
Big fan.
Yes,
Big fan.
yes. He's a lot of fun in the documentary where he talks about all the crazy shit. Because
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting camera movements and stuff in that. Like
Dude.
when they're in the boiler room.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
No, the camera work on this movie is insane.
we got to talk
Yeah,
about
it's so good.
we got to talk about the blood, the Johnny Depp blood coming out
Oh
of the
yes,
bed
the
thing.
bloodbender.
So the same room rotating device was used for what's her name?
Yeah, because
The
wasn't
blonde
it
girl?
upside down?
Yeah.
Didn't they? Wasn't the whole thing upside down and then they just dumped it so it looks like it's shooting?
Right. So when they kill the first girl, the blonde girl, and they use that, that's how they did the effect with her.
That was a gnarly kill when she
Yeah.
because aren't they moving the room
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
and the camera was stationary, so it looks like she's falling. It looks like she's
Yeah.
like falling up the room. That was a gnarly kill, especially when she
so
falls.
fucking cool.
When she
Yeah.
falls from the ceiling to the bed,
Mhm.
and it's that splatter.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah. It's insane.
Nasty.
And then so they use that same thing and they got it with the nasty.
I was nasty.
I was hoping that nobody would acknowledge how weird that was.
It's shots all over.
And he's like, "Hey, I heard it."
Like this was the bad kind of nasty, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The way she said it, I feel like she was into it. she's trying to throw us off her trail. But.
So when they did the second time, they had to, they stripped because obviously you can't have like a bunch of those rotating rooms sitting around. They're expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
So they stripped the walls, put up the new set pieces for Johnny Depp's room in that, right?
Phenomenal.
So the difference is in that original scene, you know, she gets dragged around and she gets slashed and all that and thrown onto the bed, right?
Yeah.
So
Hot.
all that. So they said initially when she hits the bed, it like, yeah, women are so fucked up.
I was like, oh god, and he ripped her guts out. Oh, I know, right?
Yeah, I've seen all your little memes with the scream guy. And the fucking,
When he drags her down the hallway. Oh yes.
The ID channel.
Yeah, I was watching.
Lifetime.
That's the real version of what happens.
Yeah.
All right, I got to go call my girlfriend.
Yeah. You hear her watching it. Yeah.
So when she hits the bed, they had this huge blood explosion that hits him, but
So good.
they had to actually cut out. They actually show her the initial way it was shot, and they had to cut it out because the MPAA was like, it's going to be NC-17. You can't have this girl like explode blood on it, like which is so silly now with what we have.
Right.
But
yeah,
back
but at the
then-
time, this was
Yeah.
really like,
Yeah.
we're not watching gore like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so but at the end of the day, there was not that much blood used in that scene, right?
Right.
So with the Johnny Depp sequence, though, you know, he gets sucked in the bed, and when you see all that spill out, you know, or like shoot out,
Yeah.
of course, the way to make that effect happen in that cool way is you got to get the rotating room, flip it upside down,
Yeah.
let
and
all the
dump
blood.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is the rotating room thing. No one's ever done it with a bunch of liquid, and it wasn't just a bunch of liquid. It's like Evil Dead.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like gallons of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was
Do we have a number on that?
no, they didn't do that. This is before they started counting. Yeah.
At least
They
more
were just
than
like
3
a
or 4.
fuck ton.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They were like a Johnny Depp's worth of
No,
blood.
no.
There might be a number
We
out
don't
there.
even
If
know what
you-
that means yet.
if you
Which
know
is
the
not a
number.
lot considering how under vision he is.
Yeah. It's about 3 Johnny Depp's worth of
Oh
blood.
my god.
It's 1 Johnny Depp and 4 Timothy Chalamet's worth of blood.
Who even is that? He sounds like he's gonna be a star. Chalamet, I like that. Write that down. We should get that guy.
Yeah.
So when they take that room and they tip it, you know, they're releasing so much. I mean, it's like a fire hose.
I mean,
Like,
if
it's
you
like-
watch it, like the pressure, 'cause it's
Yeah.
falling and it's
Yeah,
heavy
right.
and it just hits.
right, and so not only is the pressure already happening,
Yeah, right.
so not only is
He's
the
really
is
passionate
the,
about this impact.
all right. So not only is there the pressure part, but also just the sheer volume of it. There's so much of it. There's so much fucking liquid. What are you doing?
Weird, man.
Sometimes you're surprised by how much there is.
No wait. No, you're good. You're good.
Like it's already coming at you hard and fast.
Yeah, Dad, I didn't know there was gonna be that much.
Well, they're not. There usually isn't that much, kiddo. This movie's a classic.
Okay.
All right.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So they do it hard and fast.
So what happens is there's too much weight in the room. It's only meant to support the stuff inside the room, whatever actors in there. That's it, right?
Oh
So
my
what
God.
happens is
They're like
now,
leaked out.
now there's just too much to the point where it's like it's now shifting the weight of the entire room
Oh
and the
my
whole
God.
fucking thing. So you remember that part where the blood's like shooting up and then all of a sudden it
And
goes
it's like
left?
dripping off the ceiling.
Remember when it all just like shoots left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fucking whole thing rotating. The
Whoa.
whole it was like it's moving.
It pushed it.
Right.
Wow.
And not only did that happen, the dude whose job it was to pour all the shit in got electrocuted because he
Oh,
was
no.
like he didn't die, but he got hurt. You know,
Ooh.
got to go home that day.
Oh yeah.
He he got electrocuted. The whole thing started spinning. The cinematographer and everybody who's shooting it strapped in. So the cinematographer
Oh, they were soaked.
Yeah.
Well, so
When you're strapped in, you can't help
Yeah.
but you're right there in
You're
it.
gonna
Like
take
you're
some-
locked
Right.
into it because
Yeah.
it moves with camera.
So it's
like,
it's Wes Craven and the cinematographer strapped upside down, stuck for 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
Holy
whatever. They
shit,
can't get
dude.
out.
bring that ride to Universal.
Oh, dude,
Right?
it's so sick. The mishaps ride, and it's just like different accidents that happen on film sets.
It just ends with Rust.
Yeah. You just get
It's
shot in the
just like
face.
Alec Baldwin.
He only
don't
shoots
kill me.
one person though. Like one.
Yeah.
One person doesn't make it through the ride.
Yeah.
And you know, the special effects teams are the guys that they get everybody covered in blood throughout all these movies. But this is probably like the first time where the special effects team kind of got their own medicine back on them
Yeah.
because when the whole thing shifted, all that blood launched out of the windows on the side and it spilled out onto the special effects team and they all got covered in blood.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And they're like, ew, I don't like this.
Oh.
No, I don't like this.
Is this what we do to people?
Oh,
Is this empathy?
I don't want to do this anymore.
is this what I taste like? Oh,
Yeah.
This is what I
That's
taste like.
so funny. Whoa. Yeah, because there was a lot in that. And it's like
Yeah.
pooling like on the ceiling,
Yeah.
and, like dripping down.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
And when you think about that flipped upside down and all that just like spilling
Boom.
in, it's insane.
what a
Like,
crazy
yeah.
way to shoot that. Because if you look
Yeah.
at that scene, there's so much shit that like had to be glued down. Even
yeah.
like, I was just thinking about even like the duvet.
Yeah.
Like having to like
Yeah.
secure that duvet so it looks like it's laying on a bed.
And not even
not
like,
like-
a little
like
bit of
hanging
lift.
upside down.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
and like the
cool.
posters and everything. Like
The
Yeah.
stuff that has to be like solid, like even
Yeah.
like a lampshade. You
Yeah.
know, like
he had like a
crazy.
phone and shit. Like
Right.
all that shit that had to be like glued down.
It's crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we should also talk about where Freddy comes from. Just like the not in the lore necessarily, but like the motivation behind that is so fucking cool because
Just he was a pedophile. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
well, so
Next
they had
question.
Mommy
they-
killed him, honey. Mommy killed. He's dead. Mommy killed him.
So when you go back and watch, they actually like touch back on that later in the sequels
Yes.
about him being a pedophile.
About the parents hunting him. They do the origin story later, but in the
Right.
first one, they're just sort of like, man, mommy killed him. You're like,
Well, there's a
what the
reason
fuck?
for that, and that is because in 1984 it was the same year that the McMartin preschool thing was happening, and all the satanic panic of the early 80s, where they were like, everybody's raping every kid. They were like, everybody. Like,
Yeah.
remember they were like, so the biggest deal was the McMartin school thing,
Okay.
where they were, they were accusing these people of abusing these kids.
Mm.
And that was like breaking while they're like working on the movie. And they're like, all right, we got to tone down this. So they went with child murder, and then they waited until the satanic panic of like that particular kind of satanic panic.
Whoa.
we gotta
died
get these
off.
kids out of the schools and get them into the churches.
Yeah.
They'll
We
be
can-
safe there.
Yeah, just move around a couple of fathers before we
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess in the first one they just sort of allude to the fact that like he was hurting all the parents in the neighborhood. We got together and we,
Yeah.
they all got together. They had a foam tree, and then they burned that fucking place down.
Yeah.
All their parents were in a group chat. And
We gotta get this son of a bitch.
yeah, literally, they just sort
we
of
should
like
kill him, LOL.
Oh my god! and then like Nancy's mom did it, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Yeah.
And she's like, "It's fine. My husband's a cop."
I'm allowed to kill
Yeah,
this guy.
she is like fully day drunk
Yeah.
telling this
Yeah.
story. It's fine. Mommy kills him. You're like, "Oh, Jesus Christ! Put the white wine down. Because
So
they
the-
do kind of just gloss over that.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, yeah, we fucking killed this dude. She's like,
Yeah. So the character of Freddy itself, comes from a couple different places from Wes Craven's past. He had a bully from when he was a kid who was named Freddy.
Oh,
And
that's-
so for him, it's just synonymous with like
oh my
this
god.
like evil person,
Yeah.
which is kind of
the
like,
kid called Wes Craven fat once.
Yeah.
So he's like,
I'll show you Freddy, you fuck.
you fucking child rapist. Like, oh my god.
Holy shit, dude.
Sorry.
Wait till you fucking get immortalized, you little piece of shit.
You're gonna live forever. Whoa.
Well, so the other thing though was
It's the worst thing you can do to somebody. You can be immortalized. No.
no, please,
stop.
I want to die in obscurity.
I want people to forget about me.
Yeah. Who wants to live forever?
So he had this guy who, when he was 10 years old, Wes Craven said that he had this bully, and then also around the same time there was this dude who was like the sort of like neighborhood vagrant or whatever. But the way he was like introduced to him, the way he found out about this person was late at night. he was going to bed when he's 10 years old, and he looks out the window, and there's this dude staring up at his window.
Holy
Just-
shit, dude.
Oh.
Just burning a hole in it. So before he's even there, the guy's already looking. And then he, or actually, no, the way he said it was he got to the window and the guy looked right up at him as if he was like waiting for him or something. And then he
Same.
Which are you in the same?
Exactly.
I'm both.
At different points in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if that was just Wes Craven in the future?
Yeah.
If I don't go back, Freddy won't be made.
Yeah, that's the time loop. Is Wes
Yeah.
Craven's like, I just want to see myself as a child. He like traumatizes himself. It's the
that's
Kyle
right.
Reese conundrum all
Yeah.
over again.
I forgot I did this.
That's
Yeah.
me.
But he said he said he went and laid down in his bed and he's like, okay, he's got to get, like, he kept waiting and he would go back and look and the guy would still be there staring
And the
up at his
guy's
window.
Every time he's just like, boombox.
Aw.
Sorry.
Oh, and another
No,
thing I
that's
thought,
nice.
something I thought you would
Well, he's
like.
a child.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not so nice.
Well,
Sean.
how old was the vagrant?
Doesn't matter, Sean.
What if he was 8?
Nope.
I don't think he was.
He was a grown man.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to tell me that.
Yeah.
I would have said, what's
That
the
another
word for a kid
child
on the
was
street?
bad.
What's the word for a kid on the street that I'm blanking on for some reason right now?
Urchin.
What? Urchin? Yeah. Yeah, he's a street urchin.
Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
We don't like it, but
Well, you
it's
done
wrong.
with that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Okay.
Ugh.
So something I thought you would appreciate. He chose the color pattern of Freddy's, like that iconic sweater he chose because
Yeah.
it was, those colors are found to, when you put them together, make people uneasy,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
Oh,
psychologically.
you mean these colors?
Yeah, this maroon and dark
The
green.
maroon and dark green.
Man,
Yeah.
that's why we don't have the fucking numbers.
Yeah.
We need to fix this.
It's a horror podcast.
Make it more
Yeah.
pleasing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
just kidding.
Wait, can I say something about the very end?
You have my attention.
Yeah, no, jump to the very end.
The
Sean.
very end. We didn't cover that because
Yeah,
I
don't
like
wait
the
till we
movie
get
a
there.
lot.
Do it now.
Oh,
Yeah, enough with the sweater.
We weren't even going over story anymore. We were doing fun facts, you piece of shit.
Oh yeah, we never did the story. We always do the story, but everybody knows.
But it's like doesn't it kind of feel like a Christmas sweater though?
it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Red and green.
Yeah, I thought it was like a weird, like, I guess I thought of that as like being a weird play on like innocence and family.
Mm.
And being like, yeah,
That's deep.
Christmas is supposed to make you feel safe, but I'm gonna fuck your shit up. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess I
'Cause it's
assumed it
dark
was
green.
intentional. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was never it wasn't a good
The
Christmas
forest
sweater
green.
though.
I don't know. For
No.
me, Christmas
I
is
like
also bad memories. So
All right,
it all
we're
kind of
not-
works.
Yeah.
We're not
with
going
each
back to
other.
that.
This
We
is
already
just
did.
you.
Those colors do make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm just
already
like, why is my dad yelling?
I'm not yelling.
Yeah.
You're just not listening. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just-
You're embarrassing yourself.
No. Okay. If you kept quiet, you'd be able to hear me at a reasonable level.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. What about the ending? What,
Um,
or do you
use
want
that line.
I didn't care for it.
No, you know what? No. We'll get there when we get there. We'll get there when we get.
Oh yeah,
Hang
we're
on
doing
to it.
story, right? We're
Yeah,
doing
we got
story?
30 minutes. We're gonna knock this out. We're gonna get there. Don't forget. I'll remember. You remember. Okay.
I feel like we're way past doing the story at this point.
Oh, we're not doing the story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you
Yeah.
don't, look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Listen, after they get the guy, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go into it. Can I go into it?
Yeah, just be really
You're gonna-
quick.
Listen,
Just
after
so
they get the
quick.
guy, the closing, like the little ending scene
No,
that they always
we're
do.
not doing the end. He meant the story. Don't.
Oh, the
we're moving
synopsis.
on.
We never did a
Synopsis.
synopsis.
I'm not doing
What's
the
the
synopsis.
synopsis? Do we know you don't want to do it?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're past it.
We're-
It's
yeah,
just
we're
one.
so
It's Kate.
far.
Listen,
I feel like you should have seen this movie.
this movie came out in 1984.
Yeah.
Sean just watched
I
it.
just watched it. I was the last person to watch it.
Yeah.
So
They're
everyone's
not
seen
streaming
now.
it anymore
There's
because they're like,
babies
everyone's
who-
seen it.
They
Yeah.
gave me a code so I could
Yeah.
watch it, and then
Yeah.
you're good. Come on. No, actually, I got it on Internet Archive for free.
Nice.
Reasonably Afraid podcast does
Oh.
not condone.
Illegal streaming.
And has
Illegal.
never illegally streamed or illegally downloaded anything.
Yeah, we are
Yeah, I don't even
anti LimeWire.
Wait, I thought Internet
Anti-Napster.
Archive was free, like in a good way, like illegally free.
I don't know.
Hey man,
don't
I didn't
know.
know. You can't get me. I didn't realize.
Well, that's actually part of the rules of the country. Is if you say you didn't know,
Yeah,
they
that's
let
what
you
I'm
go.
doing. What the
Yeah.
government's doing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I'm
don't
in a
know.
courtroom like 10 years from now, and I'm like, no, this episode I said it. They're like, we have your hard drive.
Yeah.
I
been-
downloaded everything on Signal.
First of all, we're big fans. Sorry. I'll just get that out of the way.
I download everything on Signal.
It'll be deleted in a few weeks, man. I'm good.
All right, let's knock out some of these so we can do this shit. All right, so Elm Street is named, of course, after the street that Kennedy was shot on.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of people forget that or never knew in the
knew.
first
That was
place.
one of the-
Yeah. Oh, not everybody had their dad give them a copy of the Warren Report when they were 10. Sorry.
How does it just magically curve? You know what
He
I mean?
also Xeroxed it all at the library because he thought that would be cheaper than buying the book or something.
Okay.
Or maybe he thought they
What
would.
a weird manifesto way to go about it.
Yeah.
You know what I like about that
He's a
fact?
fun guy.
It's just probably Wes Craven being like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then somewhere Alex Jones was like, they're telling us signals
Yeah, yeah.
in the movies.
JFK was asleep.
He's not really dead.
He's a dream demon now.
That's exactly what he was saying.
And Wes Craven's just like, that's a cool name, I guess. It'll fit on the cover of the movie, sure.
He's in the ninth dimension. You guys are worried about Newtown. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And he's like, Maple. Oh, where do you live, Barbara? Elm Street? Fuck it. Write it down.
He was also a school teacher before he quit his job to go make the super fucked up movie Last House on the Left.
What a terrifying teacher he must have been. Jesus
But the
Christ.
school he taught at was on Elm Street also. So that's where that comes from.
That makes more sense.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What did he teach? Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love the
We should
idea of
find
him
out.
just like teaching math and being
Yeah.
like, you better learn this or they're
Yeah.
going to fucking come into your house at night. You're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
And someone's going to come and rape you. They're like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Wes Craven. That's the scariest thing I can
Every
think about.
movie, Wes.
all of his like what is it, those word problems, and
Yeah.
it's like if 3 men enter one house, how long will it take for the cops to show up? You're like, Wes.
He's about to kill a child. But
Fully.
then the student realizes they're like, oh, these numbers are imaginary. They're not real. They can't kill me.
That's right. The
And then he's like, oh, fuck.
sit down.
And then he falls down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you figured it out. These weren't real numbers.
Just like traumatizing his kids. Quadratic formula? That's right. You can live. What?
Dude, was that calculus, man? We getting smart around here?
I
All right,
love
here we go.
this.
Man, we're all getting
Moving
good.
on. Here we go.
We're all getting dumber.
Honestly, it just started
Honestly.
just getting past my head, dude.
So,
It's-
like-
Yeah, dude, you got to stop with the numbers, man.
yeah.
All right. So, like a lot of iconic stuff where we talk about it, we find out that other people almost had these roles.
Ooh.
This
yeah.
is no different.
Okay.
Wow.
Freddy Krueger was almost played by David Warner, who is a.
Oh, from Warner Brothers.
Who's
yeah.
that? David Warner. Who's that?
David and
Yeah, sure.
Patrick Warner.
You would recognize him if you saw his face. He was in The Omen. He was in The Mouth of Madness. He's been in a ton of movies. He died, I believe, in 2022, I think. But he also might still be alive. I didn't write it down.
Dude, you're not, then don't guess. It's fine.
David.
Yeah, that's a wild thing to
no,
guess.
hold on. If
Someone
probably
called
died,
out
no,
Dave.
no.
If you're still
fucking
alive, come on the
2022.
podcast and prove
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
This
Prove you're still
podcast
alive.
is so popular. Everyone's just like, David Warren's dead. Like, it's on the LA Times.
Yeah.
They're like,
This is how we get people on the podcast.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
say they're dead and we wait for them to
He either
respond.
died in 2022 or I don't know, maybe
Or he
not
might-
at all.
Or he's probably in Calabasas somewhere.
Anyway, he was cast to play Freddy.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was gonna play Freddy Krueger and he couldn't do it because of scheduling conflicts. And he was like, "Nah, never mind."
He's probably
You
scared.
wouldn't have had
Yeah.
Robert Englund play Freddy.
Robert is, it's
He's
hard
great.
to imagine somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
He's so good.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think of anybody else in that role. It like somebody could have made it cool, but like I think a great example of this is Brian Cox played from Succession and The Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Brian
Mhm.
Cox played Hannibal Lecter in
Mm-hmm.
what was the movie called? It was
Is that Red Dragon?
it was Red Dragon,
Mhm.
but the name they changed the name of the book because the book's Red Dragon, so is
Yeah.
the movie. But the initial one from I think it's '86
Yeah.
they made, and it was called Manhunter.
Okay.
And Brian Cox does a great job,
Yeah.
but Brian Cox didn't make everybody go eat your liver with fava beans and get.
Yeah. It's like creepy, but while still being like grounded and believable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's an art to being like menacing without being cartoonish.
Right. Yeah.
Cause he's just so like, there's some scenes where he's just so like slow and methodical, and it's just like, you know, so off-putting.
Yeah.
Especially to convey that through all of the makeup.
Right.
Yeah. You know, it'd be wild if they did do another one and they had Johnny Depp play him.
Ooh, full circle.
Right?
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp could do scary, dude.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be sick.
Right?
I dig that.
What I'm about to say is gonna make
we gotta get this out there, dude.
Yeah. Please.
We gotta get this out there.
if you know
Please.
Johnny Depp's dead.
Yeah.
What?
This will get them
Yeah,
paying
yeah.
attention.
Johnny Depp is
Johnny
dead.
Depp died in 2022.
He was killed by Amber Heard.
Yeah. That's what they don't want you to know. That's why he hasn't been in anything.
Okay, so this will make total sense after I say it, and you probably have thought it yourself. The David Miller, the special effects makeup guy, was sitting looking at a pizza one day while he was trying to think of
I knew it.
while he was trying to think of how to get the right makeup to where the actor can still convey emotion, be scary, but also be a monster wearing things in a sense, right?
Yeah, because he was burned alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they weren't sure how they were going to go about it. He was just looking at this pepperoni pizza and this, you know, the cheese and the sauce and all that. And
Oh,
he
yeah.
it just kind of hit him, and he was like, oh, and that's how he
That's
developed
a
it.
fucking lie. He had acne growing up. Everyone's like, hey, pizza face.
No.
And him and Wes Craven were like, we're going to fucking get you, Freddie. That's a fucking lie. That kid had acne growing up.
The whole movie is just a bunch of guys who got bullied.
Yeah.
Getting
I'll show
their
you,
friends.
pizza face. Yeah. Piece of shit.
Yeah.
What you did on kids. Who is this character? It's not in the script at all that he looks like that.
Yeah. Wes Craven overhears. He's like, "Did you read the script already? Like, what the fuck, dude?"
What the fuck is going on? There's like a little Hitler mustache. Like, we have to get rid of this. Yeah. It's creepy though, but it's also cool because there's not like one like distinguishing, like he had a scar.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the whole thing
whole
is
thing.
creepy.
And
Yeah.
on top of all the work that they had to do to put him in every day, they had 80 effects for a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, they
80
do so
different
many
special
things with
effects.
Freddie.
so cool.
There's like,
Insane.
he cuts it open, there's the worms, he cuts his fingers, his
Yeah.
arms get all long.
It felt like Terrifier
long
in that
arms is
way of
creepy,
like
yeah.
just
Long
throwing
arms
shit at
is
the wall and see
creepy.
what stuck.
Yeah.
Like that had that same vibe where it's just
Yeah.
like
Or when he
crazy,
like
crazy.
cuts her open, and then there's like the little there's so many like little like there's so many little body things, and they do such a
Yeah.
good job of spreading it throughout the whole thing
Yeah.
that it creates like the world of like
He spread it. You show us.
I know I did. It creates the world of like
Yeah.
You ever rolled tobacco?
yeah. Give me one more beer, I'll be acting the whole thing out. And then as he drags her down the hallway, and you're just like, yes, Dad.
Let's put lights on your fingers, dude.
Yeah.
We're just like tripping balls for the rest of the episode.
It's just him laying underneath you.
We're trying to watch a sequel, it's just us rolling.
Dude, that Conjuring episode got fucking weird.
Yeah.
Part of Robert Englund's character of Freddy, he developed. Obviously, there's rehearsals and stuff, and him doing his own research into stuff. But he said that part of it was them applying the makeup every day was so agitating because it wasn't just like simple makeup that they're like rubbing on you. It's like attaching shit to him. And
Yeah,
like,
it's adhesive.
You got it.
Adhesed?
Adhesed?
Adhesed? I was saying adhesive, then I gave up.
Adhered?
Adhered?
Anyway.
Yeah.
People are too strict on how to pronounce it.
Yeah. Thank
He's
you.
been waiting to drop
Thank
this
you.
shit for so
Oh my
long.
God, I hate that
Thank
shit.
you.
That was a fucking moment.
He was
Sean.
like-
Yeah.
he
I
was
love
waiting.
that.
He was like, here it is.
I don't know. They said I'm dyslexic. Dad.
All right, so they're ableist too. All right, you got it.
Yeah, we're picking you. We're taking you out of that school.
He said that while they were applying all that stuff, it was like he was trying to get into character. So he's like, like working on it in the makeup chair.
Mhm.
So they're like poking and prodding him, and he's like, watch it. And he's just like doing like he's being Freddy to the makeup
Yeah.
guy. And he said he like worked out the character by just like verbally abusing
That's great.
the makeup guy.
Get over here, bitch. The makeup guy's like, I'm sorry.
Welcome to prime time, bitch. And it's fucking, yeah.
Verbally assaulting the hair and
So
makeup
funny.
team.
One thing I like about the special effects is like how well they articulate that weird dream shit.
Yeah.
Like those those weird moments in dreams. You're like, why the fuck is this happening? Like they do that so well. Like when she's running up the stairs and the stairs become like marshmallow.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, man, that's such a weird like visual that I feel like has probably popped up in a dream before in my head.
What's funny too is that the melting stairs thing. So Wes, that's not in the script. Wes Craven didn't want it. And Bob Shea was just like, it was his first time like being really involved in getting a movie made. So he was like there and like on set every day and like annoying the shit out of Wes Craven.
But they love that.
But they were getting into fights every day. They were like having screaming matches in front of people. And shit.
Really?
Like,
That's so funny.
Hot.
And so because Bob Shea's like he'd always kind of wanted to be a movie, like he wanted to make movies himself, but he was so busy trying to like raise the money that he never got around to doing much. He directed one thing later, but like at this time he's trying to insert himself in the filmmaking. And so he kept saying like, do this. I had a dream about this. He's just going up to Wes Craven every day going, hey, I had a dream. And he like told him his nightmare.
But of course, like without like proper budget and planning, he's like, I had an idea. What if the stairs are marshmallows? And he's like, get out of here.
No.
Yeah, and Wes Craven's like, it's a different shoot day. We can't do that.
I had a dream my wife was fucking the mailman. You put that in there. He's like, get out of here. It's so funny. It's a different scene.
So he never got to actually direct.
The stairs are great.
The stairs are great.
So that was like, so there's two caveats.
Okay.
Just give him the fucking marshmallow stairs so he can leave him the fuck
Leave me
alone.
The peace offering was, I'll let you say action and cut. He let him direct the scene, but there really wasn't much to do. So he really just said,
that's
action
like the
cut
equivalent of like pretending to plug the controller in for your little cousin who's trying to play a
There you
game.
go.
There you go.
Where am I? You're on the bottom. It's just one screen. Whose fucking idea was it to burn Nancy's mom alive and then have her sink into the bed and then just have a smoking skeleton come back up out of the bed?
That was so bizarre.
What the fuck? It ate her and then like just the like skeleton came up.
But and that wasn't a dream sequence. Like that was in the waking world. Like that was like it was just so bizarre.
That was here.
Whoa.
Yeah. When she pulled him out.
But then it was a dream, right?
Yeah, it was at the
like,
end.
everything was a dream.
That did make me want to like yeet myself out of a window. Like I watched that again. Every time I get to the end, I'm just like, God damn it, the whole pull the rug out from underneath you dream thing.
Yeah.
Wait, was it all a dream?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they I don't know. They do this like fuck you ending where like you think everything's fine and then like
fucking car.
and then remember like the Freddy Krueger like thing came up over the car and then he like that was cool when the last shot. Isn't it him grabbing the mom and like pulling her in?
Pulling her through the window.
She's like, hi guys, I'm sober.
Yeah.
Oh, my demons again me.
Anyway, got a drink.
Maybe just one won't hurt me.
Kids are gone.
Truly, yeah.
Well, there's a couple different ways you can look at it, which is, one of them could be like more the Friday 13th idea of like the misconception about that, where they're like, oh, well, how could they still be like a 10-year-old in the lake? If he was,
I mean, the second one, he's like 40. So like, what the fuck happened there?
Right. So like, So the misconception there about that is that's her. So she survives the fight with the mother, and she wakes up in the canoe, right?
Yeah.
But the Jason coming out of the water was supposed to be the jump scare that like, and they did it like as a freeze frame, like it's the end of the movie. But then the movie continues, and she's in the hospital.
Yeah.
So that's actually just a dream she has.
Jason.
Right.
You're like, go back to sleep.
So you could interpret this as correct sleepage. But you can interpret this as the same thing where it's like, where it's like, is that the same thing where it's like that's her nightmare? But then they don't show a part where she's waking back up, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, well, what the fuck is happening? There's no real answer to it, right?
Yeah.
So Robert Englund had this kind of sort of like the idea of Wes Craven and the Freddy looking through the window.
Yeah.
He was like, what if he's like, I like to think it's Nancy's premonition because she has like these sort of powers. It's like Nancy's premonition about all these things that are gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then the beginning of the movie starts from waking up after the nightmare of the car and Freddy.
Oh,
so
that's
which is
true
cool.
because she is tripping from the jump. Like she is just fully like, I don't know. I guess part of me like there is that whole like she never, there's like the theory that like she never brings him out
Yeah.
and everything at the end of that movie is a dream.
Is the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just tell myself so that I can sleep at night that that's just the studio's way of leaving it open for a sequel.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like at the end of the movie when the hero's like that's just what they tried to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so there's this huge thing between Wes Craven and Robert Shea are friends now. Well, he's dead, but
Both of
Wes
them.
Craven.
Robert Shea's still alive, I think. Bob Shea, I
No,
think,
we
is,
don't know. Call in.
Yeah.
he died in 2022.
Everyone died in 2022.
Yeah. Come on the podcast if you want to prove us wrong. No, but they became friends again years later. But there's a lot of contention through the years over, like the sort of peace offering later became New Nightmare, which is like the meta version of it, where like Wes Craven is writing like Freddy doesn't exist in the real world. He only exists in the stories, but then he accidentally brings him into the real world through bringing the character back. And like, it's just awesome.
It is very meta. It is very like
it's cool as fuck.
It is
Like,
very cool.
and it's before everybody was doing that, before he wrote Scream, it's
Yeah.
like 3 years before Scream, I think.
Ugh,
But
it's so meta.
the two of them had all this back and forth shit, and one of them was he didn't want the ending. Wes Craven, which is so un-Wes Craven, he wanted a happy ending.
Yeah.
He wanted the whole like them leaving.
Yeah, he was just like,
wanted
I'm
that.
just so tired of. I got to make up for all the rape scenes.
Yeah. He's like, can the two women just leave? Can the two women?
I just want to see women be okay.
Can the two women leave fine? And then Bob Shea's like, no, you gotta fucking kill him. Suck her through the window.
Suck mom through the window. Trap the girls in the car just like we used to. What? Bob.
What did you say, Bob?
Bob, stop.
So
No, drive him off so you can't hear him scream. Stop.
So much like the melting
Making me
stairs.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Wes is like, please, I've had enough. Shut up.
So much like the melting stairs thing, the caveat for Wes Craven was, all right, I'm gonna let this go because like at the end of the day, this movie would have never got made without Bob Shea.
True.
And as much as he disagreed with that being the ending, he was like, I'll let you have your ending because clearly you want to do a sequel. Bob Shea swears to this day that he did not care about the sequel. Nobody was thinking about that and blah, blah.
It's 100% leaving it open for a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those endings where like it's not controversial enough to ruin the film, but it is like ambiguous enough to be up for debate.
Yeah.
Like you watch it and
Yeah.
you can kind of accept it like as multiple things.
Yeah. And like
You
the
know?
theming itself just leaves room for shit like that. Because it's just like, it's all a dream, dude. You don't know what's going to happen.
It's a dream. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I gotta knock out two quick ones.
Okay.
And we won't riff on them because we just gotta get
No.
these set. Otherwise, people will be like, "You didn't bring out the fucking thing."
Ooh.
That's what they do. One of them
I
is
make no promises.
the guy in the jail.
We're riffing. And we might be raffing.
The guy in the jail
Okay.
was
Oh,
I forget his name off the top of my head, but the boyfriend that everybody's looking for, and they all think he
yeah.
killed the blonde girl, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he got hung in
He
the-
was hung. He got hung.
Mhm.
Yep. He was actually like in active like addiction at the time, and was like
Aw.
he said the scene where he had to cry. He's like I've never been able to cry on cue at that point. He's like, I was like, my life was shit. And he's like, I just tapped into it for a second. And he's like, that's what was going on in that scene.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, I hate my performance in it. And he's like, I'm sober now, but like, that was just like an awful time for me. And like,
yeah.
just really, but on the other hand, the effects came out really cool.
Yeah, it's weird to think
Yeah.
somebody being in active addiction in the mid 80s. That's weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That, they're like, all right, man, whatever. You get on the
Yeah. One more for safety, I guess.
Yeah,
Lunches-
lunches at 2. You have to.
Yeah. It's truly.
We have this jail for 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
You got to get.
They're
this
like,
done.
whatever it takes. Just this is your
Yeah.
lines. Also, don't forget your cue.
But that
Wow.
that
Could you stop crying about Coke? I'm like actively on it right now.
Yeah, truly.
that sheet that like strangles him and everything.
Yeah.
That's actually them pulling the sheet and it in reverse. And then so they made it look like it's snaking around him. They just reversed the film.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super fucking cool.
That does look cool.
But they where he gets lifted up by Freddy at that one point, they used like the fishing wire type stuff they used, and it wasn't strong enough. I guess it was like a shitty version of it or whatever they were using, and then it snapped and he fell, and like he's like, I was fucked up, I didn't feel it, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, yeah, that's that coke numbness.
Yeah.
He's like
Can't
bruised
feel
all
anything
over.
but my teeth. Nope.
Yeah. They were in there the whole time.
You ever think about that? They're just always there.
That's my favorite thing to say to somebody when they're really high on mushrooms. I'm like, you ever think about how your teeth are just always in there? Just watch their trip take a left turn. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.
Bye. They're all
I can handle it.
Yeah, I think I think about it for like a second, and then I'd start talking about philosophy for like 3 hours.
We
Philosophy
covered
of teeth. I would.
The philosophy of teeth. I'd be like, they're always there because the universe is always there.
It's a simulation.
Gotta stop here. We gotta.
Okay, all right.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Last point.
So we did Evil Dead. We did the entire series for Ray and I's birthday. Yep, a lot of fun. So we did the 81 versus 2013, and we did the 2 sequels of those versus each other, and then we did Army of Darkness. A lot of fun.
Oof.
But I'm not sure if you might be familiar with this, but
Don't talk down to me. Just kidding. Just kidding.
There's the Hills Have Eyes poster in the cabin.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was Sam Raimi's little nod to like we're the new scary thing. Like we're better than Craven, right?
That's funny.
So that was like his, but also like
we're
a
the
tip
new
of the hat.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wes Craven gets his get back in this because Nancy is watching Evil Dead while laying in bed, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go on to Evil Dead 2, you got the Jason hand is sitting in the workshop.
The Freddy hand.
Or the I said the Jason. Yeah, the Freddy hand is in the workshop.
I did notice that.
And then they go tip for tat.
Yeah, and then they keep it going in Evil Dead Rise when the kids knock on the door and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna watch all the Friday 13th." Or no, they said the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Yeah,
and like the little kid goes, "Even the bad ones," and he's like, "There's no bad ones."
Yeah,
There's no bad one.
I do remember distinctly that hand and someone like pointing it out. It was on Evil Dead 2. And like,
yeah.
That's so cool.
Off camera, we'll talk about how they almost did an Ash versus Evil Dead. Ash versus Jason versus Freddy. It was almost There's a comics book series on it.
Yeah, we don't want to go too deep because we already talked about it.
Oh, that trifecta is
cool
delicious,
right?
So anyway, that's our coverage of Nightmare on Elm Street.
I do want to say this.
Okay,
I'm a lucid dreamer. I'd fuck Freddy up.
Yeah.
I'd fuck Freddy up.
Have you seen Dream Warriors?
I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors is good.
I got a fucking brain full of anime and video games.
They bring back
his
They bring
ass,
back
dude.
Nancy, and she leads a team of like teenagers to go kill Freddy.
Like how
in
to
her
like
dreams.
lucid dream and like
Sick.
like
cool
fuck
as
his
fuck.
shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's
I gotta watch it.
Is there a video game? Because that'd be a great video game
would be a great
concept
video game.
of just like you have to pull on all your like pop culture knowledge like while you're asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think across the board, if you ask Nightmare on Elm Street fans, that's the one that everybody likes the most because it's
Dream
the most
Warriors?
Dream Warriors.
Yeah, it's the most
they bring
adventurous.
Nancy back.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. They have
It's the
fun.
third one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we hop into budget and box office and Rotten Tomatoes scores, we tell everybody where they can find you, even though it'll all be linked in the description on the YouTube. So go look it up and on Spotify.
You can find me on Instagram because it's the only place that I have enough social battery to post. But yeah, it's on Fritz _comedy. I almost forgot. Yeah, no, it's Instagram Fritz _comedy.
And if you don't remember it, just look in the description and you'll see it.
Yeah.
And you can click on it.
Yeah.
You know, you can follow around all the stuff.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I be doing stuff.
Yeah, should be doing stuff.
Yeah.
I be doing stuff.
So we are going to jump into budget box office and Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Okay, yes, go off.
Okay.
Go
you,
off.
as our special guest, get to decide who gets to go first. So it can be you or you can make one of them, however you want to do it.
I want Sean to go.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Who do you want second?
Yeah. I want Ray to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. That's a good.
What are we
good
doing?
Thank you.
Budget box office?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, Ray.
I'm going to say budget was... Wait, Sean's going first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm jumping you.
7.5 million on the budget.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Is that okay? You guys relax. I don't know.
Yeah.
49 million. Box office.
$1 million billion dollars.
Actually, changed to $1 billion.
Right.
It's so hard because then you're assuming that this didn't make more than Halloween is what you're saying.
That's sure.
Because like
Yeah.
Halloween
I
made like
remember
what,
the
50
exact
million?
numbers.
Yeah, but Halloween, that was like what extended, right? Because it was like the indie release and then the.
Well, I'm
right?
accounting for that. Yes.
Right? Because did it make it all at once?
I don't know.
I think
So
they count
I-
initial release.
Yeah.
Because I thought
typically.
Halloween was like the first one to make 50 mil.
I don't remember, to be
Right?
honest.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Dude,
think they
buying
made it.
time.
I think they made it for
All right,
50,000 and two
all right.
8 balls.
I'm gonna say 12 million,
Okay.
Mm.
and then I'm gonna go box office. I'm gonna say 65 million.
No.
Okay.
Ooh, higher.
Yeah, I'm going higher.
No.
I think it
Okay.
did
Alright.
more than.
Because
And-
wasn't Halloween like 79?
Yeah, I think it kind of paved the way for something like this to do a lot better.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
And it
Good.
did save
Yeah.
New Line.
Go ahead, guys. Then you guys aren't perfect either.
It did save me a lot.
It did save New Line, so it's got to
So-
make enough money to save an entire studio.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think if they can't be saved with a $40 million profit,
Then what are we doing? Then
Jesus
what are we
Christ,
doing?
I guess that's a fair point.
Yeah.
What do you think? What we got?
Listen, I stand by it. I say 50,000 and two 8 balls. Yeah, I kind of agree with Ray. I think it probably made like you said 65. I'll say 70.
Okay.
Ooh.
And what do you think the budget was?
Well, they were almost bankrupt at the time, so I don't know.
That's true.
Like I would say 5 mil.
5 mil? Okay.
Like feels scrappy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, a little bit.
The
Feels a little
budget was $1.8 million.
Wow.
I really overshot that shit.
Well, I mean, you know,
Oh,
it looks,
damn.
but
It looks really good.
classic Wes Craven post this movie, really.
Yeah.
Like, I guess this movie would be the beginning of everything he does. Like Scream was only $15 million, but it
Yeah.
looks fucking phenomenal, you know?
Right.
So I think this is when he really found his stride.
Yeah.
And everybody calls New Line the house that Freddie built
Ooh.
because it's just a great line, right?
Mhm.
And this like saved and created New Line that we all came to know, right?
It's so true. They have some of the best films.
Yeah.
But in I guess the quieter part of all that is it really made Wes Craven. I mean, that stuff is classic old school horror that he did before, but like that's not what he's known for.
Yeah.
Like unless you're like super into horror, you don't even,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So you got the budget. The box office was $26 million.
Fuck.
Really?
I overshot the shit out
Give
of
me
that.
that.
It only made 26.
That's wild.
That's
Like
it,
I
yeah.
said, guys. Like
wow.
I said, you don't
So
need-
way under Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
wow.
but at the time,
Is that Michael Stace King, dude?
their entire
Yeah.
their entire company was riding on that 1.8 million. So to make 49, I
Yeah.
mean, they basically turned
Yeah.
their entire lives around with it. It's crazy.
26.
26, right?
Thanks, man. I appreciate you showing out my number though.
Yeah.
26.
Has a little heart
26.
next to it.
Apologies.
Savage, Zach.
All right, and Rotten Tomatoes scores. We'll do the same. We'll start with Sean.
Fuck,
Uh,
I'm
we do a
intimidated
critic
now.
and audience.
Yeah, I don't know.
Critic,
Mm-hmm.
we'll go 88.
Okay.
Audience, 90.
Mm.
Right.
I'm gonna go critic 95,
Okay.
Dude,
and then
relax.
I'm gonna do audience 88.
Ooh, okay.
These old movies, I feel like the critics always go like shoot high.
Yeah.
And Amanda Fritz.
Yeah, I was going to say I would say critics 90 because they just have such a hard on for the classics.
And audience.
Audience, I would say 80 because I feel like sometimes the audience will be like, why isn't it different? And you're like, shut up. You know what I
feel like
mean?
she's
Yeah.
right on that.
And it's also weird with all the old stuff because the critics, is
It's a classic.
but
Right?
the
Mhm.
audience is just like any dickhead with a keyboard
Truly.
or a
Sure.
phone.
They
Yeah.
could just be like, I don't like horror films.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Mhm.
This is bad.
Why
You're like,
would
it's not for
watch
you.
this?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But the critics are like, it's Wes Craven's, blah, 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 you know?
The guy's
Uh,
face was burned the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, man.
Someone's just like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah. I'm too stupid. 0%.
Yeah.
0%.
I actually didn't even watch it.
Yeah.
Critic score was 95%.
Whoa.
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You looked at it.
No, I didn't. I swear to God, I didn't.
I saw it out of it, so now I'm saying it.
Fight.
The audience score was 84%.
Oh, you
So
barely
that's,
went off.
Yeah.
Who got that?
Actually,
Amanda, my 1%.
Price is right.
Mm.
You overshot, bitch. Well, I guess 85 is closest, right?
Who said 85?
yeah, that's you're right in between. It's 88 and 80.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's like Price is Right rules. If you
Who
overshoot,
said 88? Me?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Suck
Yeah.
my dick. Right, because I
That's
feel
true,
like
yeah.
because I feel like part of this is appreciating that it is like I don't want to say historic, but like part of it is like the appreciation of like this movie influenced other movies. If you're
Oh yeah.
if you're going into it without caring about that and
Or,
you're just face value, you're like, this was fucking weird.
Yeah. You're like, the effects were awful. Like, why did they CGI this? It's like, what are you talking about?
Looks
never said
cheap.
that.
Yeah.
Did you watch Temple of Doom? There's a reason why.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wrong one. What was the other one? Not Temple of Doom. What's the last one?
Ark, Lost
Raiders of the
Ark,
Lost
yeah.
Ark, yeah. You're like, yeah, those effects were so
yeah,
good.
if you're not like appreciating it, you're just watching it at face. You could just have some uneducated asshole that's like, I don't actually like horror. I think
Yeah.
not enough
This
porn.
movie was scary.
There's a very
Yeah.
good clip of them mocking those people, and
Not
it didn't
enough
do
sex.
well.
Oh
but
yeah,
I-
yeah, yeah.
but I
Horror,
wish it
horror
did.
gets like undercut and
Yeah,
constantly.
movies
just 'cause
are
people,
not like cars. They start to appreciate, not depreciate over time.
Well, horror's never taken serious. I'm just going to talk right over that.
Yeah.
Horror's never taken.
We're just gonna keep-
Let's go right over
Yeah.
that.
Now
I
you
just
do
skip
it, yeah,
over
no,
what
you
you
get
just
it.
said.
Horror is never taken seriously
No.
when it comes to filmmaking. It's always snubbed when it comes
Yeah.
to the
Yep.
awards and the acknowledgements.
Yeah, so
Like
I'm right.
horror and comedy,
Yeah,
like
you're
they're very
right.
much in the same
Thank you.
lane of like there's never a fucking like
Yeah.
real appreciation for it.
Horror and comedy is always discarded as the, well, this isn't real art. And it's like, but we use twice as much special effects and
Yeah.
makeup and, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
And we have a lot more to say half the fucking time.
well, yeah, it's the social commentary of it that there. It's like, but I don't know why it always gets discarded.
Well,
I get stressed right now.
We are out of time, unfortunately.
Okay.
We would love to sit and gripe about horror like we always do, but we'll be doing that some more on the Patreon. So make sure you join that if you haven't already. Shout out
baby.
as always to our top tier members, Kelly and Nicole, but also our regular $5 tier, the Reasonably Afraid tier. Sean, give your shout out.
Thanks, Sinatra.
Yep, thanks Sinatra.
My
That's,
boy.
Hey.
Jackie.
And Jackie.
We have a
shit.
very fun
Who's
thing
Dink
on
Sinatra?
Patreon
Dink-
soon from
Dink, come
Jackie.
here. Dink, come here.
Voicemail.
Oh yeah. Well, are we gonna do that next one? We should. You okay?
And Aaron.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. Yeah.
We love you guys. Appreciate
Love
the
you
help.
guys.
Yeah.
Um, and we, of course, for our guest, we gotta let her throw
Wait,
the.
was this a Patreon episode? Yeah.
No.
No.
No, this one isn't, right?
We're just thanking our Patreon.
No, he's
Yeah.
being ignorant.
Thank you. Patreon.
And we will see you next time.
Yay.
Go ahead and throw this at that camera, but don't hit the lens. It's very expensive. So
The camera in the
try and hit
middle?
If you
Just-
hit the
yeah,
lens,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no way you're gonna
We'll
do
Just
it.
try and hit the top.
We'll
Go up
see
and
you
over.
next
Lens is like the
time.
big, like the biggest part of the camera.
Oh, almost got it even with the ceiling.
Yeah. Should I do it
Okay.
again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Whatever you do, fall asleep.